he's not the greatest quarterback, but he's still a quarterback that took a team to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Hey guys, we really appreciate y'all as well. If anybody wants to stick around for John and I, a lot of our it's more for our friends. If anybody wants to stick around and listen to us riff a little bit on Tiger King and do some power rankings, I'm also gonna have this uploaded on Facebook. But San Francisco's interesting because seeing how they use Deebo Samuel, so I'm curious to see how that goes down. Yeah. Anyway, so if you haven't watched Tiger King or you don't care about it, you can drop at this point. If you have and you want to listen to us, just continue to talk. Or just want to continue to hang out, stick around. Trans. So the internet, the Netflix sensation, the social media sensation. Where do we begin with this madness? This Oklahoma/Florida battle of rednecks, battle of exotic cat owners. And I had said I wanted to do.
Let's be honest, animal abusers. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them. All of them are not good people. I don't care what anyone says.
So this. I'm glad you said that though, because where I'm going with this is, if we did a power rankings on who's the worst, right? Like, in terms of like who's the biggest piece of shit, right? Out of all these people, I think that's how I kind of want to do the power rankings in terms. And then I also want to have a separate list for anybody, and it could be side characters that you have sympathy for. You feel like that person.
All right, let's start with the sympathy people first.
Okay.
Okay. So number one, I want that the guy his road manager, for his campaign manager.
Yes.
He witnessed a guy kill himself in front of him.
Correct. He sure did. What was his name? Was it Joseph Dial? It was. Hold on. I'm gonna get a name. Joshua Dial.
Joshua Dial. You got
Joshua
Dial.
He saw Travis shoot himself in the head, and I will say this in regards to Joshua Dial. He delivered one of the great quotes of, when he said, "I'm a libertarian. I don't fuck with the feds."
Yeah, I don't fuck with the feds. Yeah.
So Joshua Dial. Let me say this. He was a former Walmart employee in Oklahoma. The upside was there for at least for entertainment. Now, yeah, there was going to be some dark days hanging out with Joe Exotic. Travis going down being one of them, right?
It was his dream job. That's why he took it. He wanted to be a campaign manager.
But nobody ever would have talked about Joshua Dial. He would have never. What's the most interesting thing in his life that would have happened to him if he doesn't meet Joe Exotic and become the campaign manager? And I thought he did a great job narrating his parts of what he saw there. Mm-hmm. So kudos to him. The chick Saf, who seemed to be the one person of color in this entire show that wasn't a cameo or a celebrity.
That was the that arm bit off. Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She seemed to be right. There we go.
Sympathy for staff. There we go.
She was back at work in 5 days.
That girl's a beast.
Yo, I'm like, are you kidding me? So Saf, big sympathy for Saf, right? I do think that all of the crew, because there was even the guy that had no legs, who you later on find out that it was through a totally separate like zip lining accident, right?
Yeah, yeah, it had nothing to do with what you thought it was.
Oh my god! So like, all these people are like clearly they're being funded with some sort of uh, let's crystal meth, right?
Mhm.
Even the two gentlemen that were married, the two guys that they initially show, I think John Finley and Travis were
Travis,
married
yep.
to Joe Exotic, right? Neither of them were gay, and those guys were hobosexuals. That's exactly what they were. They were just looking for a home and drugs, right? So it's like, hey,
And cats to play with.
and yeah, and I get to be around cats, right? I get to be around cats, and shame on us because the number one victim in this show was the Tigers, um, even over Joshua Dial. I would put the Tigers.
Oh, good
Uh,
call.
yeah, Tigers got to be number one,
Yeah,
just
good
across
call.
the board.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, and then you got Joshua Dial.
And then number 3,
Number 3, Saf. She lost the arm. She can't drop. She can't drop lower in the power rankings than
number
3.
4. Oh yeah, she lost her arm. Yeah,
She
she
lost
lost.
her arm.
Number 4, I'm gonna say Don Lewis's kids.
Okay.
They got cut out of everything. Everything. And that guy was a millionaire. Got cut out the day before. People probably forgot about them because they were only in the first 2 episodes.
And I think that's a good point, right? Like I think they do Carol's backstory in episode 3, and then they don't really come back to the kids
Nope.
and the ex-wife, right? Like so our energy is just like, all right, we pretty much realized Carol's killed her husband. The only question is, the question isn't did Carol kill her husband? It's how did she kill her husband, in my opinion. But off after that, it's only her and Howard that they're really showing. They're not showing the rest of the people that she's encountered in life because this whole feud between her and Joe Exotic has continued, right? So they go there on my sympathy card. I think Travis and his mother is a sad story to me.
Yes.
Uh,
I'd say his mother more than Travis because I mean Travis he had demons, man. Yeah, and I guess that goes into a sad story. So
who else we got here on the power rankings? Anybody else you want to do for the sympathy side? Because I think
Marquise
everybody else.
Goodwin for his name being dragged through.
Marquise Goodwin. You know what's so funny about Marquise Goodwin is when I saw the picture on Twitter, everybody was going in, right? Like, what the hell are you doing? Samuel Ellinger even tweeted about it. Like, it was like, whoa, why are you taking pictures with tigers, my guy? Like, live, like, and obviously, it looked like it was safe until, somebody got their arm bit off.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Exotic, I also would love to know where he got the paramedic jacket from, so readily available. Bruh, just
he was gonna stop the bleeding. Use my belt.
He just walked into.
Let me run inside and get my paramedic.
Yo,
lights up a cigarette. I'm gonna lose all my money.
Yo, somebody said, "What's y'all's favorite Joe Exotic music video?" Oh, it's gotta be "Here Kitty Kitty."
Oh yeah,
no question. Sorry guys, if we talked about football and basketball for a while,
hour and a half.
Yeah, so
hour and a half, 2 hours.
We're just going through Tiger King real quick and running through some power rankings. So he rocks the paramedic jacket. Comes to the gift shop, like it comes to the gift shop like they're gonna have some bad weather and they got to shut down the park. Like that was he reduced that. He was like, yeah, had a situation with the tiger, so y'all want your money back? Bruh, is she okay?
That's all he said. Yeah. Y'all can get your money back.
He come back another day. Like we're like, this isn't that bad of a situation, Like, I think one of the most underrated things. So moving on, because some people would say that the cameraman guy has sympathy. uh, the one that was originally shooting the series that he was like
The
recording them.
producer.
The
The
producer
producer. Yeah.
guy and then they set the studio on. Allegedly, they set it on fire. It was arson, attack of arson, right? I question whether or not I should put that guy on the sympathy list, only because
He
if
put
you're
his
this,
life savings into the video, and he lost all the footage.
and he didn't back it up like anything,
I don't know, man. I don't know
doesn't
how
that?
long ago was that when he started filming it.
I don't
It
know,
was
but what?
it was in the internet age because he was doing
Right,
YouTube
yeah, it was like
videos. Yeah,
20. It was
so
like 2015, 2016.
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you're talking about we're investing our life, my life, this is going to be with my life's work that's going to get me to retirement, all type of stuff, and then it just seems sketchy on top of that. And that's why I won't have Joe Exotic in this sympathy place, because I do think he killed those alligators, man. Like, because they said they lost like what, five alligators or
Hmm.
something in that building, and it's
I
like,
think
just,
he lit it on fire. I think he lit the building on fire.
yeah, I mean, just his erratic behavior throughout and whatnot. But without further ado, let's get to our power rankings.
He said put the alligators in there that burnt in the fire.
Oh yeah, good point. We gotta add the alligators. See, this is why we got to do these things real time. We're adding the alligators straight to the top of the sympathy list. They might be number one, bro. Because I don't know if any tigers got burned to death like
They got
that.
shot in the face. Shot in the face. And buried.
Clay, you might have a point, man. It's that beat, Carole Baskin.
I think it's 1A and 1B. I think they're like because both like
Alligators,
yeah, both of them 1A 1B.
1A, 1B. All right, so let's go to the POS power rankings. I'm gonna tell you who I have number one, but I'll let you go first.
Are we going one and up, or are we going all the way to one?
I want to start one down. So who do you think in the whole show, in this whole docu-series, was the biggest? Who was the worst person?
I'm going to say, oof, I'm gonna say Joe Exotic. I don't think he was a good person. I think he was a I think he would do anything just to have some type of fame. Plus, after this came out, I heard a podcast with Jeffrey Ross where he was calling from prison to Jeffrey Ross, and within the first 5 seconds of him talking, he committed another crime. He said he's going to get out here. He's going to find Carole Baskin. He's going to shoot her in the fucking face. That's what he said.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so he hasn't learned anything. All he cares about is fame. I do think he killed those alligators, and he shot a bunch of the tigers in the face just because he didn't properly learn properly maintain them and get them sold.
Right.
So I mean, I just don't think he's that good of a person, to tell you the truth.
My number one would be Jeff Lowe.
Scumbag.
He's an incredible level of a scumbag. And those type of like, he's not even like a likable con man, like Frank Abagnale Jr. from
Yeah.
Catch Me If You Can. Like,
Yeah.
at least it's like, at least Frank Abagnale Jr. would have brought some Pan American bread to the table from being a pilot. They would have kept the party going, kept the zoo going for a little bit. Like, Jeff comes in here like he has bread, he's leasing everything. He brings essentially nothing to the table but chaos. Only decides to escalate the Carole Baskin situation with Joe, and is recording him, and some of the stuff I think Joe was aware of. It's just that Joe just was a camera whore. But the nefarious nature, because you ended up seeing Jeff, every relationship he had went to shit. Even with the other dude that he partnered up with, that they never went into that guy's backstory. The guy that came from like mid America, and he was He came in there with he had a tiger around his neck, and he came in there to take over the zoo, and they had a falling out because he quickly realized he was doing all the work and investing all of his money. The Jeff Lowe situation, what you decide to do with your woman and all that, that's your business. But just how he was going about things in Vegas, everything was just, yeah. Renee on here said he manipulated every single partner, every person, and his day is still coming. I mean, I know he's out free or whatever. I don't see how he got off, how the feds didn't go after him. But Jeff Lowe, and that's gonna sound crazy because you can make the argument. You can make the argument that Joe and Carole, and we know Mario, kill people, right? And then you got Doc Antle, who's running a freaking, sexual cult, the R. Kelly of the Tigers.
He should be up there just for that fucking soul patch.
And he's calling himself Bhagavan or whatever. Yeah. We never got enough Barbara. That chick Barbara from Iowa. What happened to her? Is she all right?
I know that she was just talking about Antle for a little bit, and then she told a little bit about his backstory, and she's like, "All right, we're done with you. Enjoy your bland."
Oh, Renee said, "What about the guy that was the CI?"
I know
for the
that
feds?
was after you said Lowe. I was
The
like,
victims.
That guy was terrible. That guy was a person too.
That guy was a terrible person, but I gotta find his name. You know what's funny, and this is why some of these people in the country are funny. They were like, "You talking about that live fat Chucky doll over there?"
Yeah.
He had the Mark Davis. He had like the Mark Davis bowl haircut. Oh my goodness! And he also had one of the best montages ever on
the jet ski.
On the jet ski. Excuse me. On the jet ski. My goodness. My goodness. I mean, that was quarantine gold. Thank you, Netflix, for that. My wife and I have been sending that like, she's like, "I'm on the way." Send me a picture of that. How can you not laugh at that? How can you not laugh at that?
You can tell he just wanted to show off that he had a jet ski. He's like, "You guys want to check this out?"
Yeah, he was like signaling over to the dude. After, some of those producers though, they're not the greatest people either, right? Like some of I don't know all their names, but Joe Exotic's handlers, the one gentleman who was progressively drinking more and more throughout until one of his last interviews, he was completely drunk, and they have like the vodka bottle behind him. It was the tall, skinny guy that was always wearing shades.
Yeah.
I know that they were feeding that guy liquor and maybe some drugs, right, to get better reactions out of him for camera. And so I feel bad for people like that. And like they clearly, him, the guy with no legs, like they clearly had nowhere else to go, right? But at least the guy with no legs was able to still articulate and kind of narrate what was going on his side of the world, right? What's funny to me though is the guy with no legs calling out Chucky doll because he said he sold him.
He sold him a stolen. What was it? Hummer.
Stolen
H2.
Stolen. he threw it in. The way he threw it in, he was like, it was like completely non-Tiger related. He was like,
"You sold me."
Oh yeah. By the way, he stole me. He sold me a stolen Hummer. So screw him. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like only in Oklahoma, bro. And then you know what I didn't like? That one dude, what was his name? Allen. That's another reason why Jeff Lowe's a piece of shit. That one dude, Allen, who clearly looked like, I'm not even trying to be funny, like he clearly looked like he was a special needs person. Also may have been another homosexual. I don't know. They were like, yeah, or not they. Joe was like, yeah, I'm gonna pay you $10,000 to go do the deed to Carole in Florida. and like, we'll pay you 5 up front or whatever, and 5, and then they give him 3 because they can't even get to 5, and he's allegedly using the money from Thanksgiving, which is just a whole nother mess. Um, and then that guy, immediately bitches up, doesn't even go to Florida.
He went to North Carolina, right? And
He went to the strip club, got drunk, and snitched. That's what he. That's what he for 3K. Then they show a man's in the bathtub, and he was drunk, drinking out his Yeti cup. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
oh, can we add on someone that you feel sorry for?
Sure.
The owners of Affliction for Jeff Lowe wearing that costume. Let's go on there. Let's go.
We gotta, yeah. They'll be number 6. Affliction owners. We got 2 people we need to talk about. That I want to start with Doc Antle, and then we'll close with Carole.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, any other documentary, everybody's talking about him, sex cult, tigers, all that. I think he gets off because he was a little bit more open about his situation with the Tigers and what they were doing. And he was so shrewd to like realize when he wanted to be front and center about stuff and when he backed away. Because I think Doc realized, like, Carole is a real killer, Mario is a real killer, and Joe might be a real killer, but I'm not 100% sure, right? Like, that's the type of energy I'm dealing with. I'm just sex cult guy over here, right? Like, so it's a little bit, I don't know. I feel bad for all the women he has over there, and they were talking about some of the hours they were working, and obviously, the after hours, worship of him, and which turns into sexual, all sorts of sexual acts and whatnot. But they navigated away from him towards the end of the documentary.
But one of the things about him that I found was very interesting that people don't really like point or talk about, because there's been so many characters and so much stuff going on in this whole documentary, is that he was the one who basically came forward and said, yeah, you have to kill the tiger. They get too big and they eat too much. At the beginning of it, he said, what do you, he didn't come forward and say, he goes, what do you think we do with it?
Right.
Like, they get too big, they cost too much money, we can't sell it. What do you think we do?
So the thing too is that this Tiger King, and I think one of the big focus when you look at the memes and like what's everybody talking about, right? Like, it's become the Joe Exotic versus Carole Baskin, right? And like the energy there. And I think a lot of people, shout out to you for not giving an inch on Joe, because I felt a lot of people were like, free Joe Exotic, he shouldn't be in jail. He wasn't, he got set up and all that. I think all those things are definitely in play.
He fucked over his parents, man.
He did. That's inexcusable.
And people don't talk about that. That's not a good person. Your parents lost their house because of you.
Yeah.
People forget about that too.
Yeah. I'm not rooting for that guy.
I'm not.
Now, Carole Baskin, on the other hand,
she's got that sociopathic look, man. I just like.
You want to know what a OG triple OG looks like? Looks like Carole Baskin, because she got the feds on her side. She got all the legal stuff cleaned up. When you're able to have your husband removed in the manner that she had him removed, essentially in broad daylight, considering the verbiage that was used in the will of, in case of a disappearance, the parked van, the creepy ass van that got parked, where she was like, oh yeah, he was flying to Costa Rica or wherever the hell he was going, and just her overall demeanor about it, right? She 100% did that shit. And then she's laughing about it, kind of like OJ did when she's like, yeah, like, trying to like her funny way of like, if I did it, I wouldn't have done it this way, like, or grinded them up in this because you can only do this much, or and the sardine oil on the boots and all this type of stuff, like what would get a tiger to eat somebody and all that. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing, but at every turn she was always the smartest person in the room because she always knew Joe was coming after her. So she's like a counter puncher in boxing, right? Like, all right, fine, go ahead and throw your cards. And she also got all Don's money and, used it, got on Peter's good side, because she gave that BS explanation about why she wasn't a zoo. I hate zoos, but this is why I keep the tigers in cages. What?
Yeah, she was trying to say, tigers need more than 4,000 square miles to roam, but I'm keeping him in his 10 by 10 cage.
Oh my goodness. Walmart coming through in the clutch for them. Add them to the list. Sardine oil, man. Yeah, like, it's just like, I appreciate that, Renee. It's incredible to me how what people can get away with in this world sometimes. And did you notice how creepy the Tampa Bay detective and the lawyer were? Something wasn't right, bro, with those guys. Something wasn't
Well,
right.
the lawyer was Don's lawyer, and
Yes.
but
Yes.
he was still like shifty eyed.
Bro, because he probably was there when he got eaten. And she told him straight up, like, look, this can be you at any time. Right? And so that's why you look at Doc. Doc never came at Carole because he's like, yo, she'll kill it, And it was funny how they went about it. Like, the first 2 episodes is all like, yeah, here's why everybody else is a piece of shit and why Carole's like at least okay. And then they turn to Mario of all people, who was the movie Scarface is based off of, and he might be the 12th most interesting person in this documentary.
Out of all the big cat owners, he was the best of all of them. The big drug
He
lord.
did his animals the best.
He was the best out of all of them. Like this guy who's probably killed a lot of people, trafficked so much drugs with
Mario had real security.
We forgot about the snakes too, because he killed the snakes. He trafficked them.
Oh my goodness.
There's so much going on.
There's so much going on. But Mario turns to the camera and is like, I mean, Carole killed her husband, right? It's like, what?
It's like he did that shit.
He was the Spears meme.
First one to say something in the thing. It's like,
what are you talking about? He killed her. Yeah, Carole killed her husband. And then they go, and then like Joe gets, one of the. I think that's why people love Joe so much, though, because he was such a great source of entertainment. Joe with the diary, Joe in the live streams, Joe's like the music videos, which is like arguably one of the greatest country music videos I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, my goodness. So somebody said, refine Jennifer. Just hearing the conversation. What are we watching next? What's out there? I've been, I saw Coffee and Kareem. That was a good little silly
Ozarks, movie. The new Ozarks one.
I gotta finish season 2 of Ozark.
It's good. Even season 3 is really good.
Okay. Shows wise, the next have they uploaded the next episode yet for Tiger King? Because they said they were gonna do another one. I saw Jeff Lowe's bum ass on Facebook talking about it. I started watching Schitt's Creek. That's pretty funny.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've been watching Dave, which is about.
I gotta check out Dave. I gotta check out Dave. That's on.
It's
FX.
Not what you think. I mean, it does have a lot of funny parts in it, but it's actually pretty serious. It's
really
pretty serious. Yeah.
Okay. I gotta check that out. All right. Well, I appreciate. So anyway, power rankings wise, I think we have a very strong sympathy group.
Yeah.
The POS group, Joe Exotic, Jeff Lowe,
Chucky, redheaded Chucky.
Jeff Lowe, Chucky, Carole. Does Carole go? Yeah, Carole, Doc, Howard. I'm putting Howard on the list. I didn't like him either. Any man willing
Which one
to
was
wear that
Howard?
type of. Howard was Carol's husband.
Yeah.
Her
Okay,
current
yeah.
husband. Yeah. Anybody that wears that type of outfit on the beach with the chain, no,
No.
no. We addressed the hobosexuals. Let's see what else we got. We got Chucky pretty high, but Chucky was a snitch though.
No, he was.
And he sold my man
He wanted
a hot
money.
Hummer.
He thought he was going to get a part of that like $300 a square foot Tiger Kingdom. No, he got cut out. But
Who else?
he did have a sweet jet ski.
Oh man, that when I think of this show, that's in the top 3 things I think about. So, guys, we are wrapping up now. It's been over 2 hours. It's probably our longest stream ever. I'm not sure, but we've been gone.
I think we've done like around a recruiting one. I think we did almost 3 hours.
Yeah. Some of the recruiting ones have been longer. Yeah, but as we get adjusted to these Zoom ones, we'll get better at them and keep the content coming. So appreciate y'all. Horns always up for all our UT fans and for everybody else that follows us and rocks with us. I'll have the links to follow on all social media platforms below, and we'll keep it going. So
everyone stay safe, guys and girls. Sorry,
guys and girls.
Yeah. All right, guys, take it easy.